D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episode 4. I don't know the name of this episode. It doesn't matter. But I have to say about this show is I'm starting to like it more. I did like this episode. I thought the first episode was pretty good, and the second episode was pretty good. The third episode was, well, the second episode was a little boring. It was a little too long, but the third episode was a little bit of a snooze fest, and I felt like it was just a misstep, but not like overwhelmingly bad. Like it didn't upset me like it was so bad, but it wasn't even like bad. But this episode was pretty good. There's a couple things that I didn't like about it and everything, but I have to say the show overall, I'm hesitant to like it. And I said this in my last review, and one of you commented, and it's just because I'm just so jaded from the other two shows. They're just so, Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery are just so bad writing, bad everything, that it's so hard for me to like this show, like outright like it. And I'm trying my hardest. And I did enjoy this episode. And like I said about the other past episodes, because I think that the last episodes, because Ensign Mount, I think that's how you say his name, Ensign Mount, he said that they're like, for instance, in episode 1 they had pictures of January 6th in them, and he said that they're trying to bring these issues, bring attention to these issues without lecturing you. And I'm paraphrasing that. Don't get all mad because I didn't, quote him verbatim. But I like that because me personally, like when it comes to Star Trek Discovery and Picard and their politics, because Star Trek has always been, had, politics in there and everything, but they've done it subtly, and they've done it to where it makes you think, and you like do your own research, and you come up with your own opinion kind of thing. Not those two shows. Those shoes are like they just shove it down your throat, like eat my politics, and you're like, I'm not even hungry, I'll take a nosh of your politics, not the whole thing, not the whole buffet and everything. Like, I'm on a diet, I'm on political diet, calm down. And I think that that's what this show is kind of doing. Like, but they sneak in little things that I'm just like, all right, I get where you're going here. You better calm it down, sister. I'm not in the mood for this. Now, as far as this episode goes, they had the Gorn in there, and I'm going to talk about them when we get a little bit further into this breakdown. I love the episode from the original series, The Arena. I did a review on it. You can check that out in the iCard section, everything. But I love that episode. And, I will talk about this because I didn't like how there's one thing that I didn't like about the Gorn and everything. But yeah. All right. Now that I'm done. Okay. And also people say that I'm just too negative about this show all out the gate. And I want to talk about some positives. Okay. First off, positives. That opening title sequence, I watch it every time. It's really good. I like it a lot. Keep doing that. I likes it. Daddy likes it. I also like that they do the episodic episodes because, you can do an overarching story because they've done that in Star Trek before, but just have these episodic episodes with that overarching story, coming into play every now and then. Apologies, my throat is a little dry. And then I also like that they're focusing on individual characters in this show, because I think that that's one thing that Picard and especially Discovery really are lazy on is getting to know your other characters. So that way, when something happens, we're supposed to feel like, a connection with that character. And I'm like, I don't feel a connection at all. I don't even care about this character because you focus so much on Michael Burnham and the captain. But yeah, so those are some positives and everything. Yeah. Now, why don't I get started on this breakdown? Because I've yabbered on too much about, nonsense. But before I get started on this, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now that I've done that, let's break down this episode. Starts on the Enterprise, duh. And it's Remembrance Day, and they're just remembering those that they lost in the past. And Lillian Noonien-Singh, I think that's how you say it. She doesn't want to remember anything because bad memories. This kid, I don't remember his name. He sees his little boyfriend in the hallway, and he's all like, "Hey," and everything. And the captain's giving a speech and everything about how this is a time to remember. And Hammer, yeah, he's training Ahura in gosh, I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I just watched the episode, you guys. It's so early. I'm trying to get some other stuff done today, so I didn't write down stuff. I need to start doing that though. Yeah. Anyways, so she's all like, I'm going to do my best, and he's all like, you got to go above and beyond your best and everything. This character kind of annoys me because he's very cocky, but at the same time, I'm all like, if you're in Starfleet, you're like the best of the best. So like he kind of has room to be cocky, but he's kind of annoying. Because anyways, so she's not wearing her little pin, and she's like, "Why aren't you wearing your pin?" And she's like, I don't really have anybody that I want to remember. And I saw somebody bring up the fact that this is just Drummer from The Expanse. They've just moved over this show, and I was like, you know what? You're so right on. They've even got the look down and everything. I'm like, you little bad robot likes to steal a lot from other people. So they're going to this planet so they can give them supplies and stuff, because they're like, if we don't get there, they won't have enough air to survive, So, but they get there and they're not getting any hails back. There's no communication. They're like, their communication tower has been destroyed. Sorry, guys, I just need some libation. My throat is so dry. And they're not getting any hails. Their communication tower has been knocked out. So number one goes down, and they're going through the settlement and everything. And they find a dog. And then they go to the middle, and they're like, all the bodies have been brought to this one spot. Now, I personally, as soon as they went down, I was like, ooh, it's the Gorn, because they had mentioned it before in episode 1, because Lillian Noonien-Singh, they had been, her whole colony had been killed except for her. And so they're talking about, so then a ship pops up, and they're like, what is this? What's going on here? And it's the settlers, not all of them, but the ones that survived. And she's like, I'm Dr. So-and-so, we need help. And he's like, we're going to beam you aboard. And she's like, she's like, I don't know what happened. It all happened so fast and everything. She's all like, he's like, we're going to beam you out. And she's like, you can't beam us out. Our cargo ship is a it's got super shields. There's no way you're gonna beam us out. And he's like, we'll do a little bridge. So they do this bridge, and all these people kind of like zombie walk on because they've been, tortured and stuff. She's like, thank you so much. And she's like, of course, and everything. She's like, can you tell us what happened? She's like, it's all one big blur. I don't remember how it's happened. And me, I just go, if you see a big giant freaking lizard coming at you and like eating your husband, don't you like remember what they look like and everything? They talk about trauma in here, how the human brain likes to push stuff into, the back of our subconscious and everything. But me, I just go, I'd remember a big freaking lizard, eating my family. So this little girl she's like, I don't remember what they look like. I did it in the shadows, but I remember they talk like, and I'm all like, yeah, why don't you? Yeah, again, big lizard. I just be like, a big freaking iguana ate my dad, And so she goes on the bridge. She's like, we need to get shields up, and we need to get out of here. It's the Gorn and everything. So then the Gorn pop up. Oh, no, they're not on the bridge, but she Captain. The Gorn show up, and she's all like, move. And everything, and then the Gorn come in, and they just blast away because they can't raise their shields when they have that bridge attached to the ship. And then so the Gorn come in, and they're like, do 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 do. That's the proper way to do a laser sound. Anybody that goes pew pew, they are not doing it properly. Lasers don't make pew pew noises. They go everything. Anyways. Yeah, if you do it right, you know what I'm talking about. And they hit the ship and everything. She gets taken down, and number one's like, it's okay. So she's like, I should have moved. Sorry I froze. And she's like, it's fine. So then they're getting blasted and everything, and they're like, we can't do this. And so she goes on the bridge. She's like, listen, we need to get out of here now. This is what the Gorn do. They make you use all your resources to where you are vulnerable as a mofo. She's like, we need to get out of here now. And he's like, that's a really good plan and everything. She's like, yeah. And she keeps seeing her brother. This is her brother. I'm just going to give it away, spoilers. This is her brother. She keeps seeing visions of him and everything. And she's like, is impulse working? She's like, I got half a nacelle and everything. Or I got one nacelle and the other one's pretty damaged. And he's like, there is a black hole close to us. Can we get in the little cloud around it? I don't remember what it's called. And so it's chasing them and everything, and they get it. They're going to the thing. Oh, and these two are working on this thing. I don't remember what it's called. Sorry. But they get blasted and everything, and he's got a big thing on his arm, on his hand and everything. He's like, help me get it off. So she helps him get it off. It's got a little snowflake on it. I wonder what that is. But it means cold. So he gets it off, and his hands all like mortified and everything. Look at that one. You can kind of see it right there. It's all bent back like a backwards paperclip, like all like and everything. Anyways, so this is overloading because it got a little bit damaged in the firefight. So they're in their thing, and they can't. Oh, but they can't get out because the entrance is blocked by a couch and everything. These shows. I love how she's able to push off a whole like canister off his arm, but she can't. Oh crap! Sorry about that, you guys. It's lunchtime. I got to make lunch for my kid right after I'd done this. Anyways, so they're trying to figure stuff out. They're running out of resources in the med bay because they can't synthesize stuff fast enough and everything. And they've got a lot of injured people. People have already died. They're trying to get stuff figured out and everything. And so she goes into the med bay and she collapses, number one, because her injuries are pretty bad. But he's all like, we cannot use the machines because we don't have the power. And he's like, you are into medieval like surgeries and stuff, right? Or whatever. And I'm all like, of course she is. He's like, how do you feel about sewing? And I'm all like, everybody should learn how to sew. Yeah, if you don't know how to sew, you should learn. Everybody needs to learn these basic things just, for your everyday life and everything. And if you don't think sewing will come in handy, try it. I promise you it will. Anyways, so she, tells the captain that they're just going to keep coming and coming and coming. They're not going to stop. They are not going to stop. And he talks to her a little bit. She keeps seeing her brother behind him and stuff. And she talks about how, like, she talked about it in the first episode, but basically, long story short, her colony or whatever, they just were basically like, everybody was killed but her and everything. And they dropped him on like a breeding planet and everything. So the baby Gorn could hunt him down and everything. And you see it later on. But anyways, so then these two are in here, and he's like, it's over. We need to fix it and everything. So she's gonna teach her how to fix. They're gonna be a team, even though he doesn't like teams. So back on the bridge, they're trying to figure stuff out, and they've got. Oh, and by the way, back here, I'll just tell you here, they only have one torpedo left, no phasers, and so they're trying to figure stuff out, and they use something as like radar. I know there's no radar in space. Calm down. I don't know how else to describe it though. So they see the Gorn ship. Oh, did I get anyway, they see the Gorn ship and it can't see them because they're in this little cloud or whatnot. And so they decide what they're going to do is because it's right above them, they're going to drop the torpedo on top of them. So they open it up, they drop it, and then boom. And he's like, hit, Captain. But then it just notifies the other ones. Like, they're like, gotcha. And they're like, they wanted us to fire so they can find out where we are. So now the other Gorn are coming, and there's 3 ships. And I just have to say, this Gorn ship, that's another problem with Bad Robot, is they don't know how to design spaceships. I mean, if you look at the Enterprise with the nacelles and the disc and everything, it's beautiful, beautiful. And if you look at, even all the ships from the past, Voyager, Discovery, even Enterprise a little bit, the ships in those shows were beautiful. Now, ew. This Gorn ship is gross. It's not even cute. Anyways, it's just unfortunate looking. So they're sewing her back up, but there's one big one left in her abdominal. So these two are trying to fix it and everything. She does a good job, but she's like, yeah, I did it. He's like, now let's get started. She's like, let's get started. And then he's like, yeah, you haven't even done, we barely done anything. Come on. So they're like, crap, what are we gonna do? So they go further into the cloud, but they're like, listen, the hull is gonna buckle and everything. We could get crushed and everything through the vacuums of space. And they're like, he's like, the lower decks are already, and when he said the lower decks, I mean, it was like, well, I hope what's their faces from that show are on the lower deck so they get sucked out, because I'm tired of seeing those assholes. So he grabs his boyfriend that we saw from before, foreshadowing. And they're trying to get there, but the bulkheads are closing because he's like, close the bulkheads. And he just pushes him and everything. And he falls over and he's like, and everything, and explodes and he dies. It's like, oh man, I'm not gonna get me some dick tonight. Anyways, so they one pat. She's all like, one person died and everything. He's like, I had to make the decision. It was the call that had to be made. And hey, that's how it is, So they did that, and then what are they doing here? I don't remember what they do here. But anyways, so back in the thing, they're like, we need to do surgery on here, but we only have one thing of plasma left, but you're going to have to get an IV, those medieval barbaric medicine ways in the, our century. I don't know, what are we in the 21st century? So they're going to sedate her, but then another one, they're like, she needs plasma. She's like, we only have one left. And she's like, give it to her. She's like, that's an order. And I was like, that's what those are the tough calls that those in charge have to make. And good on number one for making that call. Because she's like, I'm gonna have to do surgery. It'll be like giving birth out of your mouth or something like that. And she's like, who says that? And she's like, me. I don't like Chapel. I don't like Chapel. They've tried to make her like this quirky, like, I'm a crazy kooky doctor. And I'm all like, get the fuck out of here. I don't care with your blonde white hair. I'm like, I'm not into it, Chapel. Your kookiness. So then they're trying to figure stuff out, and they've oh, sorry, I'm trying to remember all this. Okay, so they figured out they're going to send a shuttle out of the cloud to figure out what's doing. So while and Spock is going to go with Lillian Noonien-Singh. I keep saying her full name. I don't know why. It was Singh. Noonien-Singh. Singh. Commander Singh. Whatever. And she's all like, I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember everything what happened. And he's like, the human mind likes to push everything down deep so you don't remember. And she's like, you can do that Vulcan thing with the mind meld, right? He's like, it can be a little crazy in the mind meld and everything. And so he does like, my mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts. And she goes in and she remembers her brother a little bit, but she remembers that she got put her and her colony got put on a breeding planet of the Gorn so that they can they let the little hatchlings get them and everything. She's like they hunted us day and night. And so she's remembering stuff, and she remembers her and her brother. They're running and they're hiding and everything. And they showed the shadows of the Gorn. And this is where I want to talk about one of the negatives that I didn't like about this episode. Okay, if you're gonna have the Gorn in your episode, you put the freaking Gorn in your episode. I don't even care if it looks like this, from the original series. I don't care. If you want to do practical effects, fine. You want to do all CG like they did in Enterprise like this, I don't care. It's fine. But I want to see the Gorn. And when it comes to shows and when it comes to visual effect, when it comes to visuals like a TV show, you show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. I would have been okay with this video game version of the Gorn. I'd have been okay. Okay. I don't care if it looks CG as all get out, like it did last episode with the asteroid. No, episode 2 with the asteroid. I'd have been fine with that. Show, don't tell. But all you got to see is a shadow and everything. Because before she was all like, no one's ever seen the Gorn. She's all like, no, people have seen the Gorn, but they haven't lived to tell the tale of what they saw, kind of thing. So her brother basically figures out how they talk. It's in Morse code, and he gives her the little book and he tells her to run and he sacrifices himself. So then she's all like, my brother. And she's all like, you had a sister that sacrificed herself to save you. And she's like, but it's not on record. And he's like, we're gonna leave the mind meld now. And I don't want them to talk about Michael Burnham or Discovery ever again. Stop bringing it up. It makes Daddy upset. Nobody likes it. If you like Discovery, I don't know what's wrong with you, but stop bringing it up in this show if you really want me to like this show, because Discovery sucks. Michael sucks. It sucks. Stop bringing it up. She's remembering her brother and everything. He's all, my sister. So she's all like, I know what to do. She starts talking. They talk in like light or whatever. It's in Morse code. Like, so she says, and she's like, I'm sending a thing telling them that the humans have got on the ship and everything, and they're survival of the fittest. And they just the big ship destroys the little ship. So then they're sitting here and because what the other ship, because there was two of them, the other ship, it came in and everything, and it was like and it crushed, and it got crushed because of the pressure, and they're all like, they won't stop and everything. So then these two are sitting here, and long story short, she can't fixes it. I can't remember. And they're like, listen, we can't fix it and everything. And he's all like, listen, we need to, is it right here? Hold on. I'm trying to, okay. So they're going to, he's like, we can't fix it. It's going to blow or whatever and everything. And so they realize that what they're going to do is they're going to slingshot themselves around the black hole using the momentum and everything. And then they're going to eject everything in the cargo hold. And then it's going to blow up because they're going to play dead, because they're going to play possum. And then those two are going to use suits and everything. They're going to put on spacesuits. And she's like, if this works, it's going to be called the Pike maneuver. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. So they put on these suits, and he's like, you humans are so worried about death. And he's like, your life is has meaning. And if in death, your life has meaning and everything. She's like, what's your meaning? And he's like, I can't remember what he said. She's like, well, he's like, what is your meaning? And she's like, I don't know. Does that mean I'm not going to die yet? And he's like, we'll see. So then they do it. They do the Pike maneuver, and they're slingshot. And then this thing, the big ship is not, the big ugly Gorn ship is not going forward. She's like, it's changing course and everything. And then he's like, do it now. And they launch it. And of course, the thing like breaks a little bit, and you're all like, stop threatening to kill these characters off. The Andorian, the albino Andorian, you can kill off, because who remembers him from the original series? If he is in the original series, I don't remember him. But you're not going to kill off Uhura, because that would make no sense. So they do it, and they launch the little thing, and it explodes, and the Gorn ship goes away. It's all like, this is really black holes. If this is what a black hole really looks like, it's really pretty. Anyways. And so that gets sucked up, and they come out of it and everything. And they're like, woo, and everything. And like, the Gorn's gone. And then they think Uhura and what's his face, Hemmer, are dead, but they're not. And everything, like, yeah, and everything. Look at him, adorable. And everybody's happy and everything. And yeah. So she gets fixed because he puts an IV from his blood into her. And he's like, yeah, I did this. She puts on a little remembrance pin and everything. And they're talking about those who have lost. They lost 7 crew members and how they sacrificed themselves and everything. And that's the end of the episode and everything. It was a good episode. Like I said, I wish they would have shown the Gorn. Show don't tell in these shows. Daddy's a little upset about that. And can we stop focusing on Lily and Noonien-Singh a little bit? Because like we did the first episode, we did the last episode when she was all like, I'm a eugenics, I've been mistreated my whole life and everything. I don't dislike this character, but like I'm ready to focus on maybe like Chapel. Maybe see why she's so kooky. I don't really like her and everything. Maybe focus on an episode with just Spock. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else there is. Maybe the Doctor, even though we saw his daughter is sick, so maybe we don't need to see it. I don't know what else you could tell about him, but maybe focus on another character. Maybe focus on an episode on the Captain again. I mean, the first one was kind of on the Captain, but maybe focus on him. But yeah, that's what I got. Those are my thoughts on this episode. It was good. It was a good episode. It was probably my second favorite episode. The first episode's probably my favorite. This one's probably a second. And then the second one was the third, and then that third episode was just complete a misstep, but you're gonna have those and everything. All right, those are my thoughts, you guys. Sorry I rambled on there a little bit and everything, but whatever. Tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Are you like me and you wish they really would have shown the Gorn? Just because I personally like the Gorn. Again, go watch Arena from the original series. It is good, you guys. You want to talk about top-notch writing, that's an episode that's got good writing. And the Gorn don't even show up until the final third of the movie, of the show, not the movie, the episode, and then like hunting him down was like, it's so thrilling and everything. It's such a good episode. And if you can get past the nonsense of the way the Gorn look in the third act and everything with they did what they could with what they had, but it's still so good. It's still so good and everything. All right, you guys, again, those are my thoughts. Go ahead and tell me what you think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Strange New Worlds breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.